What happens when you have the degrees, the experience, the accolades, and yet you still feel like you're just not enough? You can have people telling you how talented you are, how impactful your work is, and yet deep down there's this lingering doubt. What if? What if I'm not actually as good as they think I am? There's a lot of talk online about imposter syndrome, but I believe that imposter syndrome is actually not a mindset issue. It is a deeply ingrained belief about ourselves that keeps us high achieving women stuck, playing small and second guessing ourselves at every single turn, every single move, every single big goal we take on. And the reason is, I'm going to tell you the secret right now. You are measuring yourself by outdated stories. You are basing your now on information from the past instead of acknowledging the growth, the expertise, the proof that you have that is literally right in front of your face. Now, I saw this last week with two of my Foundry clients, both of them highly skilled, deeply experienced. They were both underpricing their work because they still didn't see themselves as the experts that they actually are. So I worked with each of them individually to 10x their prices in a single sales call. And guess what? The only thing they had to change was how they saw themselves. In today's episode, we're going to dive deep into the truth about imposter syndrome, why it persists even in the most successful of women, and how we can all leave that behind. It is time to step forward, break free from it, and leave it in your past where it belongs. And we are not going to do this by working harder. We are not going to do this by proving ourselves more because, in case you didn't realize it, you have fucking nothing to prove to anyone. We're going to do it by rewiring your subconscious beliefs so that you can have that confidence and so that you can have that self-trust. Welcome to Big Goal Energy. I'm so excited you're here. Let's dive in. I can tell you've got big goal energy. Are you ready to turn your wildest dreams into your everyday reality? You are in the right place. Welcome to Big Goal Energy, the podcast that helps you turn your audacious and delusional dreams into your everyday life. We know that you don't settle for the ordinary, that you have dreams which others may deem unrealistic. But here, we help you defy reality and bring those dreams to life. Each episode of Big Goal Energy empowers you with knowledge, inspiration, and mentorship to conquer your most unrealistic goals. From transparent roundtable conversations to short-form episodes, you'll hear the experiences of women who have defied reality, as well as learn practical tips and strategies to fuel your journey. Join us by subscribing to Big Goal Energy, and together we'll turn your audacious dreams into remarkable achievements. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back. I'm Bree Seeley, the hostess of Big Goal Energy, and I am super excited for today's episode. I actually have a sticker that I send to new clients that says, "Today, imposter." This is a topic that comes up with almost all of my clients. I see it coming up with high achievers and ambitious women all the time. And there's this mentality, this mindset that like, oh, I just need to push through it. I just need to work harder. I just need to like get over it. You know, it'll all be enough when. And the thing that I always remind my clients, and frankly, that I remind myself and all of the deeply experienced, deeply brilliant women that I know in my life that I get to remind all of the time is that imposter syndrome is actually not who you are. It's an experience you're having, but it's not who you are. You're not an imposter. You're not faking it until you make it. You're actually incredibly talented and you're already the woman that you see in your future, but you're basing this narrative about your value and who you are and your place in the world on outdated stories from the past rather than acknowledging where you currently are in your journey. So how can this show up for you? It can show up as underpricing your services or skills, or a combination of underpricing and over-delivering. When I tell you the price that one of my clients was charging, I about shit myself. How else can this show up? Over-preparing, but still feeling unqualified, shrinking back in rooms where you should be expanding into, not asking for the raise, not asking for the sale, I mean, this can show up in so many different ways in your business and in your career. Let's talk about these two clients of mine. And what's so interesting is that they're having very paralleled experiences. And I couldn't believe I talked to both of them pretty closely back to back last week. And I was so shocked at how grossly underpriced their services were in comparison to the value they were providing. And acknowledging and recognizing when we're underpricing our services and delivering a tremendous amount of value, how self-sacrificing that experience is, and how we literally cannot build sustainability into our lives, our businesses, or our careers if that's how we're operating. So both of these clients are in the marketing industry. Both of these clients have over 10 years of experience, one of which has a narrative that because she didn't graduate college with this degree, that she can't market herself or put herself out there the way she wants to. One has a story that because she's only worked in certain industries, that she can't put herself out there into other industries because her experience isn't related to the industries that she wants to be working in. So, what I got to show both of these women is how the narratives that they are telling are actually things that are untrue about them, and they are based on perspectives that are from the past. For example, say you're looking at something. Here, I have this elephant. If you're watching YouTube, I have this little elephant planter here, right? So say you're looking at this elephant planter from a certain angle. You're looking at the head of this elephant planter here, right? And you're looking at it and saying, well, it's an elephant planter. But if you were to look at it from a different angle, it might just be, if you were to look at it from the back, it just looks like a little round aqua planter that's on legs, right? You can't even see the elephant head to tell that it's an elephant planter. You're looking at the same thing, but you're looking at it from different angles. And what I had to remind both of these clients this week is that they were looking at their experience, they were looking at their past, but they were looking at it from an angle that didn't give them the full picture. And they were very attached to looking at it from that angle, despite the fact that they had moved in space and time. So if you're standing in one spot in space and time and you move to another spot in space and time, you're going to be seeing things from a very different angle. What I reminded them was that the stories, the narratives that they've been telling about this experience are deeply, deeply ingrained into their subconscious. And so I walked them through some exercises to help them uproot the causes of this imposter syndrome in their life and to redefine it for themselves, to write a new narrative about it. Now, the root cause of imposter syndrome is truly that our subconscious mind grasps onto experiences that we've had in the past. Now, our subconscious mind happens to grasp onto things we perceive as being incredibly important. And it's like it catalogs it, it puts it into your internal filing system in your mind, and it writes rules about these experiences you've had. Imagine your subconscious mind is writing rules based on your failures, your mistakes, your doubts, reinforcing this sense of unworthiness. And that gets stored into your subconscious. And then for the years, decades, for some people, centuries or century into the future, then that narrative that they implanted into their subconscious years and years and years ago is still running the show. Our brain tends to focus on our past struggles rather than looking at our progress. So self-doubt, again, and like wrapping this back to what I was just saying about my clients, self-doubt actually is not a narrative about your ability, but rather it's about the perspective and the perception that you are holding on to in that moment. So my question for you is, on any given day, like if you had this elephant planter on your desk, how would you have it displayed? Would you have it displayed so that its back end, this like, clear, smooth turquoise on like legs, would that be what you display? Or would you display it so that you can see this beautiful elephant face staring at you all day, every day? What's happening for most people is that unknowingly, you are literally looking at the butt of the elephant planter all day, every day, thinking that you want to be looking at the front of it, but not doing the work that you need to shift that perspective. Your imposter syndrome, your self-doubt, it's not about ability. It's not about experience. It's not about how good nor bad you are in your given field. It's about which end of the elephant planter are you looking at? Are you looking at the back end or are you looking at the elephant? Now, personally, when I display this, I look at its face because it's an elephant planter. Why would you buy a planter and hide the elephant part of it? I don't know. To each their own, no judgment. I display the elephant planter. So we are going to take a quick break. I'm going to tell you about a resource that I have for you. And then when we come back, I'm going to teach you exactly how to shift this perspective so that you too can have a beautiful elephant planter on your desk where you are looking at the elephant and not at its behind every single day. Pardon this quick interruption. One of the biggest challenges ambitious entrepreneurs face is closing the gap between where they are and their big goal. I've created a resource for you that will help you navigate the journey more easily. Defy Reality, the female entrepreneur's guide to achieving her audaciously ambitious goals, will guide you through a process to 110% claim the inevitability of your big delusional goal, banish your doubts, and identify the exact steps you need to take to defy reality. Visit breesealy.com/free to get immediate access to this tool that will help you stop wasting your time so you can start defying reality. And now, back to your episode. All right. Let's get into how do you actually change this perspective? So if it's not about ability, if it's not about experience, if it's not about all these things, how do you actually shift your perspective so that you can see the truth about who you are, what your impact is, and how to proceed accordingly in your life and business? The mindset reframe around this is, what if you evaluated yourself based on who you are today, not who you were in the past, and not who the world has told you that you need to be? This client of mine who has this narrative around like, well, I don't have a college degree, so like, why would people hire me? Well, we talked through this. I was like, well, one, for your college degree, were you even studying what you're doing today? No. Two, has any one of your clients ever asked you to see your college degree in order to hire you? No. So why are you holding on to this narrative that in order to be worthy, to price the things that you need to price the way you need to price them, that you have to have a college degree? At some point in her past, in her history, the world told her, or a mentor or a peer or someone told her, that in order to be valuable in the world, she needed a college degree. Well, it's now been 10 years since she dropped out of college, and she is still looking at that as a failure. She's still looking at that as evidence that she cannot go out and do what she needs to do. She is now not accounting for the last 10 years of growth and experience that she has applied in her life and business. So we shifted this, and I told her, I gave her homework. I was like, you have got to break up with that old narrative. You have to go back and tell, you can't think of a specific person, tell the world that's your story. To be fair, it was never your story. So what if your past didn't define your worth and your value, but rather you gave yourself permission to define your worth and your value based on your growth? What level of growth has happened over the last 10 years? So this is the client, I will tell you, she was charging $29 a month, y'all. Oh, $29 a month. She had a package that was $100 a month, but she was giving like a free phone call on top of all of those other things along with that. And I was like, you have got to 10x your prices. So she did. She increased her $25 package to $250 a month, and she increased her $100 package to $1,000 a month. Because instead of looking at the butt of the elephant and saying, well, I don't have a college degree, she gave herself permission to look at the front of that elephant planter and say, holy shit, I have 10 years worth of experience. I have 10 years worth of application. I have 10 years worth of impact in the world. Look at all of the growth that has happened over these last 10 years. So I made her increase her price by 10x, 10x for 10 years. I mean, why not, right? And she was able to then step into the perspective she needed to embody to actually show up in her business the way she needed to show up. But here's the crazy thing. She did the math. She went to AI and was like, do the math on how many customers I need to create in order to get this. I mean, it was like thousands of customers every single month that she needed to hit her goals on that. With her new pricing strategy, she needs like 10 customers a month. The homework I encouraged her to do was she actually had to go write a breakup letter. She had to sit down and write a breakup letter, breaking up with that old perspective, breaking up with that old narrative. And she had to step into and write a new narrative, a new story about who she is and how she shows up in the world. And a really easy way to do this is to make a success resume. List your wins, your skills, your transformation, moments of proof that have happened over the last decade for you that show you exactly why you are not a fucking imposter, nor were you ever an imposter. Let those words sink in. You have never been an imposter in your entire fucking life. Never, never. One of the really important parts about doing this work is to rewire your brain at the subconscious level. Now, the thing about the subconscious is that it responds to two things. First of all, it responds to imagery. And second of all, it responds to repetition. So when you are looking at changing that subconscious narrative, unfortunately for my clients and for you, it's not going to happen from a one-time breakup letter. Deep transformation happens through repetitive imagery on a subconscious level. This means that if you want to try to do this consciously, you have to show up every single thought that you have and shift it. It's a lot of work, and you have to be hyper fucking vigilant to pay attention to where your brain goes and the stories it tells and the perspectives that it wants to look at the world through on a moment by moment by moment basis. Okay. Now, you can do it. I've done it. I've had clients do it. It's a lot of work and it is a lot of hypervigilance. The other option is hypnotherapy. Hear me out. Hypnotherapy is an absolutely incredible resource. I started receiving hypnotherapy in 2017. And because of the incredible, fast transformation I experienced through that hypnotherapy, I got certified. Hypnotherapy can reprogram your mind under 30 days. What it does is it helps us to rewire those old, outdated beliefs. We look back and see, like, what were the cause of these? Where did these beliefs get planted within me? And we uproot those. It's like we're weeding a garden. And if you were weeding a garden, you wouldn't go through and just cut the tops off. You would get in, you would grab the roots, and you would pull them out. So the first thing with hypnosis is that you want to get in there, you want to find the roots, and you want to pull them out. You want to get rid of those outdated beliefs. Then on the other side, you want to put in, okay, what do I actually want to plant now? If I had a garden that was completely weeded, completely free of all of my old outdated beliefs, what would I plant instead? You would reinforce your expertise. You would reinforce how successful you are. You would build yourself the fuck up to remember who the fuck you are every single day, right? Now, I want to let you know that I am going to be launching a suite of hypnotherapy products to help you do exactly this so that you can move on from your imposter, shift your perspective, embrace and embody the success that you are here to be living every single day, and be confident about it. Because remember, you're already the expert. You're already enough. It is time to own it. I want to encourage you to shift from having to prove your worth out in the world to standing and rooting in it, because that is who you are. And if you want access to the upcoming hypnotherapy resources, I want you to go to breesealy.com/hypnosis and you can sign up to get early access. There will be early access bonuses for every single person. So breesealy.com/hypnosis. You can get signed up. You will be one of the first people to learn when my hypnotherapy resources are available for sale. Thank you so much for joining me on Big Goal Energy. As always, it is a pleasure to be in your ears. I love doing this, and I'm just so grateful that you are here doing it with me. I have some really big, exciting things coming up, not just the hypnotherapy resources, but I'm going to tell you a little secret. I'm launching an app. So that is coming as well. Stay tuned. Make sure you're subscribed. If you feel inspired, please leave us a rating and review. If you have a friend who struggles with imposter syndrome, send this to them today. Thank you all so much for joining me. I will see you on the next episode of Big Goal Energy, and have an absolutely incredible week standing in your worth, standing in your power, because you deserve it. Thank you for joining us on this episode of Big Goal Energy. We trust that it fueled your ambition and made you feel seen. We are a community of ambitious female entrepreneurs like you. Come join us in the Big Goal Energy community by visiting breesealy.com/community. In the meantime, send your questions for us to cover in the episodes to info@breesealy.com. Together, we'll turn your audacious dreams into remarkable achievements. Cheers to defying reality. See you on the next episode.